The world stood still as a new revolution was born. The streets of New York City were flooded with thousands of supporters, journalists, and curious onlookers. Trump Tower, gleaming under the city lights, had become the epicenter of the historic announcement. Massive screens on nearby buildings displayed an animated countdown, the numbers ticking away with a thunderous echo, as if the whole city held its breath. Inside the grand lobby of Trump Tower, the scene was electric. Red, white, and blue banners draped the walls, and a massive podium stood at the center, emblazoned with the words, "Make America Great Again." The air was charged with anticipation, with whispers and murmurs rippling through the crowd of reporters and supporters. "What's he announcing this time?" One journalist whispered, clutching her notepad. "Is he running again? A new business empire?" "Nobody knows," another replied, adjusting his camera. "But it's Trump, it'll be big." As the final seconds of the countdown flashed on the screens, 3, 2, 1, the crowd outside erupted into cheers. Then, with perfect timing, Donald Trump stepped onto the stage. The room went silent for a beat, followed by an explosion of applause and chants of USA. USA? Trump, standing tall in his signature navy suit and red tie, surveyed the crowd with a practiced, confident gaze. He raised his hand to quiet the noise, his expression one of triumph. The camera zoomed in, capturing every detail as he leaned into the microphone. "Tonight," he began, his voice steady and commanding, "we're not just talking about America's future, we're redefining it. For too long, the elites have controlled everything, your money, your opportunities, your freedom. But those days are over." He reached into his jacket pocket and slowly pulled out a golden coin. The room gasped, and the crowd outside roared. Trump held the coin high above his head, letting it catch the light. It shimmered brilliantly, revealing his face engraved on one side and the words, "Make America Great Again," on the other. "This," he declared, his voice rising with intensity, "is not just a coin, it's a revolution. Trump coin is here to give power back to you, the hard-working, forgotten Americans. This isn't about the elites. This isn't about the system. This is about taking control of your future, your freedom, your life." The audience erupted into thunderous applause. People waved American flags, some even wiping tears from their eyes. Supporters outside held up their phones, recording every moment as chants of "Trump, Trump" echoed through the streets. News channels interrupted their programming to broadcast the announcement live. Within minutes, social media exploded. #TrumpCoin trended worldwide, with millions debating its impact. Some called it the boldest move of Trump's career, while others dismissed it as another one of his gimmicks. But as the excitement reached its peak, a storm was brewing. Across the country, in a dimly lit office in Washington, D.C., Hunter Biden sat scrolling through his phone. His jaw clenched as he read headline after headline. "Trump coin, a revolution in digital currency. Trump empowers Americans with new vision. Trump strikes again." He tossed his phone onto the desk and leaned back in his chair, his frustration evident. "What a joke," he muttered under his breath. Without hesitation, he grabbed his phone again and began typing furiously. Moments later, his tweet was live. "Trump coin is the biggest scam of the decade. Don't let him fool you, America." The tweet was like lighting a match in a gas-filled room. News outlets picked it up within minutes, and social media erupted. Supporters of Trump coin clashed with detractors, while financial experts debated the legitimacy of the project. Trump, of course, wasn't one to stay silent. Barely an hour later, he fired back on Truth Social. Hunter Biden wouldn't know a scam if it hit him in the face. Trump coin is for the people, not for the corrupt elites he protects. The battle lines were drawn. The media dubbed it Trump versus Hunter, the war of words. News anchors speculated endlessly about what this clash symbolized for the country. On one side was Trump, positioning himself as the savior of the common man. On the other was Hunter Biden, casting himself as a whistleblower standing against corruption. But for the millions watching, this was more than just a feud. It was a fight for the soul of America. The nation was ablaze with controversy. From bustling city streets to quiet suburban neighborhoods, everyone had an opinion about Trump coin. Cable news channels ran non-stop coverage, pitting financial experts against political analysts in heated debates. On social media, hashtags like #TrumpCoin, #Hunter vs. Trump, and #Freedom vs. Fraud trended simultaneously, dividing the nation into two passionate camps. Trump supporters flooded forums and comment sections, calling it the greatest invention since the internet. "I just bought in," one viral post read. "This is our chance to stick it to Wall Street and Washington. Thank you, President Trump, for giving us hope." Meanwhile, detractors, fueled by Hunter Biden's accusations, painted a far grimmer picture. Memes comparing Trump coin to failed schemes of the past flooded Twitter. "Hope? More like hype," one critic tweeted. "Wake up, people. Don't let him scam you again." Hunter Biden wasn't done stirring the pot. Days after his initial tweet, he appeared on a popular late-night talk show, where the host wasted no time diving into the controversy. "Hunter," the host began, leaning forward, "what makes you so sure Trump coin is a scam?" Hunter smirked slightly, taking a sip of water before responding, "Because I've seen this playbook before. Big promises, flashy announcements, but no real substance. It's a trap, designed to make people think they're part of something revolutionary while someone else gets rich." The audience murmured, and the host pressed further. "Do you think this is a deliberate attempt to exploit his supporters?" "Absolutely," Hunter replied, his tone sharp. "This isn't about empowering people, it's about control. And Trump's track record speaks for itself." But Trump had no intention of letting Hunter control the narrative. The very next morning, Trump held an impromptu press conference in front of Trump Tower. Standing before a sea of reporters, he exuded confidence, waving his gold coin for the cameras. "Hunter Biden," he began, his voice booming, "is desperate. He's part of the corrupt establishment that doesn't want you to have freedom. They want you dependent, controlled, and weak. That's why they're terrified of Trump coin." Trump paused, letting the crowd cheer before continuing. "This isn't about me. It's about you, the hardworking Americans who've been left behind. Trump coin is your chance to take back control from the elites who have kept you down for decades." The soundbites spread like wildfire, with clips of Trump's defiant speech dominating news cycles. Supporters rallied, posting photos of their newly purchased Trump coins, while critics dismissed his words as empty rhetoric. The war escalated further when a bombshell leak shook the nation. Late one night, an anonymous source posted documents online, claiming Hunter Biden was secretly lobbying to push regulations that would cripple privately issued cryptocurrencies. The leak included what appeared to be emails and meeting transcripts, with Hunter allegedly discussing ways to favor government-backed digital currencies over independent projects like Trump coin. The revelation sent shockwaves through the public. Conservative news outlets jumped on the story, branding Hunter as the real enemy of financial freedom. One headline read, "Hunter's Crypto War: How the Bidens Plan to Control Your Money." Hunter's team immediately denied the accusations, calling the leak a desperate ploy by Trump's allies to distract from the real issues. But the damage was done. Polls showed a significant shift in public opinion, with more Americans now viewing Trump as a champion of the people and Hunter as part of a corrupt system. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, tensions continued to rise. Major cryptocurrency exchanges reported unusual delays in processing Trump coin transactions. Supporters cried foul, accusing financial elites of sabotaging the coin to protect their own interests. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, with some claiming that Hunter Biden himself was pulling strings behind closed doors. "I wouldn't put it past them," Trump said during a fiery rally in Pennsylvania. "They're scared. They know that Trump coin is unstoppable, so they're doing everything they can to slow us down. But let me tell you something, they won't win. Then came the challenge that changed everything. One of the nation's largest news networks proposed a live debate between Trump and Hunter Biden, a head-to-head confrontation to settle the feud. The announcement alone sent shockwaves through the media, with headlines like "The Showdown of the Century" dominating the airwaves. Trump, never one to shy away from a fight, immediately accepted. "I'll gladly take the stage to show America the truth," he declared in a Truth Social post. "Hunter Biden has spent his whole life being wrong. I can't wait to show him and the world what real leadership looks like." Hunter, not to be outdone, tweeted, "The truth deserves a stage. I'll see you there, Donald." As the debate approached, anticipation reached a fever pitch. News outlets speculated endlessly about what each side would bring to the table. Would Hunter present evidence to back his accusations? Would Trump unveil new plans for Trump coin? The stakes couldn't have been higher. For the millions watching, this wasn't just a political clash. It was a fight for the soul of America: freedom versus control, hope versus fear, Trump versus Hunter. And everyone knew that whatever happened on that stage would define the narrative for years to come. As the debate raged on, the nation became even more divided. While Trump and Hunter exchanged heated words on stage, their supporters clashed online and in real life. Protesters gathered outside the debate venue, their chants echoing through the night. On one side, Trump supporters waved flags emblazoned with Trump coin freedom for all and held signs declaring "Hunter is the swamp." On the other, Biden supporters carried banners reading "Trump coin equals fraud" and "Stop the scams." The tension was palpable and the police presence was heavy. Helicopters hovered overhead as crowds grew more restless, the debate inside amplifying their emotions. Inside the auditorium, the stakes were raised with a shocking twist. The moderator, sensing the intensity of the moment, leaned forward and asked, "Mr. Trump, there have been rumors that Trump coin's blockchain contains hidden messages or codes. Some claim it's connected to your 2024 presidential ambitions. Can you confirm or deny this?" The room fell silent, all eyes on Trump. He paused for effect, then smiled. "Hidden messages? Fake news. But let me tell you something. Trump coin isn't just a currency, it's a message to the American people. A message that we're taking back what's ours. And if the establishment wants to make up conspiracies, it's because they're scared. Scared of me. Scared of the truth." The audience erupted into cheers, but the moderator pressed on. "So, you're saying there's absolutely no connection between Trump coin and a future presidential run?" Trump leaned into the microphone, his smile widening. "I'm not saying anything. But 2024 is going to be a very interesting year." Hunter seized the moment to go on the offensive. "This is exactly the problem," he said, his voice cutting through the noise. "Trump doesn't care about transparency or accountability. He's using Trump coin as a political tool, manipulating people's trust to serve his own ambitions. It's not about freedom. It's about him." Trump turned to Hunter, his expression calm but his tone sharp. "And what about you, Hunter? Should we talk about the emails? The lobbying? The backroom deals you've been making to shut down independent cryptocurrencies?" Hunter's jaw tightened. "Those are lies fabricated to distract from your failures. The American people deserve better than your smoke and mirrors." The moderator intervened to regain control, but the audience was buzzing. The tension between the two men was almost unbearable, and the lines between fact and fiction were beginning to blur. Meanwhile, outside the venue, things took a dramatic turn. The protests had grown larger and more chaotic. A group of Trump supporters confronted Biden backers, and a heated argument turned into a physical altercation. Police rushed to separate the groups, but the scene was broadcast live, adding fuel to the fire. One viral clip showed a Trump supporter shouting, "They're scared of the truth. Trump coin is our freedom." While a Biden supporter yelled back, "It's a scam, just like everything he's ever done." News channels interrupted their coverage of the debate to report on the chaos outside, framing it as a symbol of the growing divide in the country. Inside, the debate reached new heights of drama. The moderator, visibly tense, addressed both candidates. "Gentlemen, this debate is supposed to provide clarity for the American people, but so far, it's only added to the vision. Let's focus on solutions. Mr. Trump, how does Trump coin solve the economic struggles of everyday Americans?" Trump's response was immediate. Trump coin gives Americans a choice to escape the grip of corrupt banks and politicians. It's a way for people to invest in their future without fear of being controlled by the swamp. The establishment hates it because it works. The moderator turned to Hunter. "And Mr. Biden, what is your alternative to addressing these economic struggles?" Hunter took a deep breath. "We need real solutions, not flashy gimmicks. Regulation, education, and accountability. Those are the tools that will protect families and communities, not some untested digital coin." The contrast between the two men was stark, and the audience could feel the weight of their words. Backstage, a new revelation was brewing. An anonymous source leaked a document to several reporters covering the debate. The document claimed to contain evidence that Hunter Biden had personally profited from government contracts tied to digital currencies. The news began to spread online, with hashtags like #HunterCryptoScandal and #TrumpWasRight trending within minutes. Reporters scrambled to verify the claims, and whispers of the leak began circulating through the audience. Supporters of Trump shouted, "Release the documents," while Biden supporters accused Trump's team of fabricating evidence. As the debate continued, the nation held its breath. The stage was set for an explosive climax, with both sides digging deeper into their positions. But one thing was clear: this wasn't just a battle between Trump and Hunter. It was a fight over the soul of America, with the future of financial freedom hanging in balance. The auditorium was buzzing with anticipation as the debate entered its final moments. The moderator, visibly exhausted from trying to control the heated exchanges, turned to Trump and Hunter for their closing arguments. The room fell silent, the tension almost unbearable. "Mr. Trump," she began, "you've made bold claims tonight. Why should the American people trust you and Trump coin to lead them into the future?" Trump adjusted his tie, his expression calm but resolute. He stepped away from the podium, addressing the audience directly. "Because I've never stopped fighting for you," he began, his voice steady but filled with passion. "They said I couldn't win in 2016. I proved them wrong. They said I couldn't fix the economy. We had the greatest growth in history. And now they're saying Trump coin can't work. But I'll tell you this, it's already working." He held up a Trump coin, letting it gleam under the stage lights. "This isn't just a coin, it's a movement. It's a promise to every single American who's been left behind. To every factory worker, every small business owner, every family struggling to make ends meet. This is your chance to take control of your future, and I'll stand with you every step of the way." The audience erupted into thunderous applause, with chants of "Trump, Trump," filling the room. Trump returned to his podium, nodding confidently. Hunter's final words were sharp and calculated. "Let's cut through the noise," he began, his tone measured. "This isn't about slogans or shiny coins. It's about responsibility. It's about protecting Americans from schemes that promise everything and deliver nothing. Trump coin isn't freedom, it's a trap. And if we don't stand against it now, it'll be too late." He turned to the audience, his voice rising with intensity. "We've seen this before. History is filled with people who preyed on hope to line their own pockets. Don't let yourselves become a footnote in their story. Demand better. Demand accountability." His words were met with a mix of applause and boos, the divide in the room more evident than ever. Then, the unexpected happened. As the debate wrapped up and the moderator thanked the participants, breaking news flashed across the screens in the auditorium. A major cryptocurrency exchange had just announced that it would officially list Trump coin. citing overwhelming demand from the public. The room erupted into chaos. Trump supporters cheered wildly, seeing the move as validation of their belief in the coin. Hunter's camp scrambled to respond, accusing the exchange of recklessness and greed. Trump, ever the showman, couldn't resist seizing the moment. He stepped back to the microphone. "You see? They can't stop us. The people have spoken. Trump coin is the future." Hunter, visibly frustrated, shook his head and walked off the stage without another word. The aftermath was nothing short of explosive. News channels replayed the debate and the breaking news at an endless loop. Supporters flooded social media with posts celebrating the listing of Trump coin, while critics warned of impending disaster. In the days that followed, Trump coin's value soared, turning early investors into overnight millionaires. Trump held rallies across the country, each one larger and more electrifying than the last, solidifying his position as a hero to his supporters. But the controversy didn't die down. Hunter Biden continued to campaign against Trump coin, vowing to introduce stricter regulations on digital currencies. His supporters rallied around him, framing their opposition as a fight for the soul of the nation. As Trump coin continued to dominate headlines, one thing was clear: whether you loved it or hated it, you couldn't ignore it. And for Donald Trump, that was the ultimate victory. Hier ist der nächste der Geschichte, der das große Finale vorbereitet und die Spannung weiter steigert. The day of the debate had arrived, and the nation was on edge. Every major network had cleared its primetime schedule for what was being called the showdown of the century. Trump versus Hunter, freedom versus control. Millions tuned in, with viewing parties springing up in homes, bars, and community centers across the country. The stage was set in a massive auditorium in Washington, D.C., with a sleek, modern design. Two podiums stood under bright lights, the American flag draped dramatically in the background. The audience was packed, a mix of supporters from both camps, their energy palpable. The moderator, a respected journalist known for her no-nonsense approach, stepped onto the stage. Her voice was calm but firm as she addressed the audience. "Tonight, we witness a debate that's not just about politics or economics. It's about the future of this country and the choices we make as a society. On one side, we have Donald Trump, the creator of Trump coin and former president of the United States. On the other, Hunter Biden, a prominent voice against the project and advocate for regulation. Let's begin." Trump stepped onto the stage first, greeted by thunderous applause and chants of USA. Waving confidently to the crowd, he paused for a moment to soak in the energy before taking his place at the podium. His demeanor was calm, his expression unshakable. Hunter followed shortly after, walking briskly to his podium amidst a mix of cheers and boos. His jaw was set, his face a mask of determination. He didn't wave or smile, choosing instead to focus on the task ahead. The two men exchanged glances, one confident, the other resolute. The tension in the room was so thick, it felt like the air itself was holding its breath. The opening statement set the tone. Trump spoke first, his voice steady and commanding. "Tonight isn't about me," he began, his eyes scanning the audience. "It's about you, the hard-working Americans who've been lied to, cheated, and ignored for far too long. Trump coin is more than a currency. It's a movement, a symbol of freedom from the corrupt elites who've kept you down." He held up a gold Trump coin, letting it catch the light. "This coin represents hope, power, and a better future. And the fact that my opponent is here tonight, trying to tear it down, only proves how much they fear its success." The audience erupted into applause, with Trump supporters chanting his name. Hunter's response was sharp and pointed. "Hope?" He scoffed, leaning into the microphone. "This isn't hope. It's a dangerous scam designed to exploit the very people you claim to represent. Trump coin isn't about freedom, it's about greed. And I'm here to make sure the American people don't fall for it." He turned to the audience, his tone softening. We've seen what happens when unregulated schemes like this take off. Families lose their savings. Communities are devastated. I won't stand by and let that happen again. The room was divided, with cheers and boos echoing in equal measure. Then came the hard-hitting questions. The moderator wasted no time diving into the heart of the controversy. "Mr. Trump," she began, "critics have accused you of using Trump coin to enrich yourself and your allies. How do you respond to those allegations?" Trump smiled, shaking his head slightly. "Fake news." That's my response. The only people getting rich off Trump coin are the hardworking Americans who've invested in their own future. And let me remind you, Hunter Biden is part of the same establishment that's tried to keep you poor and dependent for decades. They don't want you to have power. But I do. The audience erupted again, while Hunter leaned forward, visibly annoyed. "Mr. Biden," the moderator continued, "there have been allegations that you are connected to efforts to regulate cryptocurrencies in a way that could harm independent projects like Trump coin. How do you address these claims?" Hunter straightened, his expression firm. "Let's be clear, cryptocurrency needs regulation to protect people from exactly what Trump coin represents: reckless schemes that promise the moon but deliver disaster. My work has always been about protecting families, not harming them. Unlike my opponent, I'm not here to sell you a dream that will leave you broke." The audience murmured, the tension rising as the two men squared off. The debate reached its climax when the accusations turned personal. Trump leaned into his microphone, his tone sharp. "Hunter Biden, your family has spent decades profiting off the American people while pretending to care about them. And now you have the nerve to stand here and lecture me about greed? Give me a break." Hunter fired back without missing a beat. "And you, Donald, have built your entire career on exploiting others, from your businesses to your politics. Trump coin is just the latest in a long line of cons." The room was electric, the audience hanging on every word. The moderator struggled to keep control as the two men exchanged verbal blows, their voices rising with each rebuttal. As the debate drew to a close, both sides delivered their final statements. Trump's voice softened, but his conviction remained strong. This isn't about politics, it's about the people. Trump coin is a chance for every American to take control of their future, to break free from the chains of the corrupt establishment. Together, we can make America great again, not just in words, but in action. Hunter's closing was equally impassioned. "This is a defining moment for our country. We can't afford to fall for empty promises and flashy gimmicks. Real progress requires real responsibility. And that's what I stand for." The nation was left divided, but one thing was certain: the debate would go down in history. As the cameras cut off and the stage lights dimmed, the conversation only grew louder. Supporters on both sides flooded social media with reactions, while news anchors dissected every moment of the debate. For Trump, the battle was far from over. And for Hunter, the fight had only just begun. We live in a world where choices define us. Stories like this remind us of the power of decisions, unity, and hope. If you found this story inspiring or thought-provoking, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more captivating tales. Don't forget to like, share, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Together, we can build a community driven by stories that matter. See you in the next one.